What's up, guys? This is JTQ9 of SSX-1, and welcome back to the channel. We've got a big war today. Season 41, war number 2, against Salty. They are, 200 war points ahead of us, no big deal. And we're going to start off this war with a good old Weapon X pre-fight. Yeah, I don't know. I just decided to leave that in. Very important role, activating that Stormbreaker for my colleague. But anyways, no, my fight started in tier 2 here. I've got a Nova on this Hazard Shift Bleed and Shock. And while I'm thinking of it, I said Weapon X pre-fight. Obviously, it meant Odin pre-fights for that Weapon X. But anyways, I digress. This one here with Nova. Take 5 shots or 3 shots to the face. Use up the indestructible boost right away. That's always what we want to do. Game plan here was just try to play safe. Build the heavies whenever I had the opportunity. The heavies, wow, I can't even speak properly. Build the furies anytime I get a chance. Try to not take the SP1s to the face or the SP2s and do some big damage. Don't let the flourishes pound ups or build up too much. So making sure I hit into the block every kind of chance I get. Also to push them back because I don't want to get trapped. And when I was building up kind of the rock charges, I was throwing the SP1s to build the Furies a little bit faster. A lot of the times when I'm bringing Thing in, I'd like to have Torch there as a buffer now. He's a very nice luxury to have. Unfortunately, in this one, I didn't get that availability of him in my slots where I had to bring in Odin to help out with that Weapon X and a couple other ones. But for the most part, slow and steady wins the race, and he ended up going down with not too much damage because I did have to heal up for this next Spidey Supreme, which is a very tough fight. I've taken him a number of times in the last season. I believe I also died to him once, so he can be a real pain in the rear end if he doesn't cooperate. But the idea here was to obviously bait the heavies as much as possible. I couldn't parry and hit him because of one eye open. And my goal was to build up some rock stacks, quickly throw the SP1 before his kind of aura kicks up, because when you throw the specials at that point, then it triggers his astral form. So in this case, trying not to get backed up too much. He was kind of refusing to throw heavies when I wanted him to, or he would, as you saw, just dexed out of it because I was slightly slow. One of the things that I liked about this fight that kind of worked in my favor was the fact that I kept the 15 charges up a lot. So when I was getting cornered, and let's say I accidentally took a hit like there, I would go unstoppable and be able to recover and only take like 1 or 2 hits, even though my protection was sometimes up, sometimes not. And I had no fear of really pushing him to the SP2 because as mentioned in many previous wars, that I'm just very comfortable fighting against him and dexing the special. So, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of getting nervous at this point because I didn't like being backed up as much as I was, but he wasn't doing very big damage against me. So I was able to build up to my SP3 and finish it off. So very happy about the way that fight ended up going. At certain times throughout, I was getting very nervous. He either wasn't throwing heavies or he was triggering his astral form a little bit too frequently for my liking, pushing me back, and I couldn't really hit into his block either. So anyway, all in all, as they say, a solo is a solo, and I was very happy. So before we blink in this fight over too fast, as mentioned, I believe in my previous war, that Idoom is the perfect counter for Kitty Pryde. Basically, anytime he inflicts the cowardice on her, it removes all the prowess. So therefore, you can parry at will, no risk of her going kind of her phasing, and then kind of building up the big SP2. The one thing with this node is I did have to pay attention to the bleed on it, but I figured she'd be down enough or quick enough that I didn't have to necessarily worry about the additional damage that was happening from it. So all in all, I'm happy with my 3 fights I had. Unfortunately, we did end up losing the war. And that brings my total to 7-0 in the season. We are now 1-1 as an ally. Unfortunately, we'd always like to be 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, as you know, but not always the case. So all in all, guys performed very well. Again, sub 6 deaths is kind of the goal for us. We ended up posting 4. Our battle group had 2 of those 4, unfortunately. But we move on to the next one, and we will catch you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.